In the cold night of Maryland Bay, a small ship left port at 3 a.m. as if taking a gamble that only the most daring would dare to take. Waves pounded the sides of the boat like sledgehammers, while hundreds of steel pots on deck, each weighing more than 70 pounds, waited to be dropped to the bottom of the bay. In just a few hours, those pots could pull up to 40, 60, even 100 crabs, turning each pull into thousands of dollars in cash. But the most shocking thing is not the numbers in each pot, but the total that a fleet can achieve in just 24 hours. Because on peak days, they can harvest 20,000 blue crabs, generating $600,000 in revenue, more than the annual salaries of dozens of other professions combined. Yet this huge resource is facing a frightening truth. The Chesapeake blue crab population has declined to an alarming level. How harvesting 20,000 blue crabs in one day can earn $600,000. The blue crab is not just any crab, but the taste warrior of the entire east coast of the United States, living in the mouth of the Chesapeake River, where fresh water meets salt water. This crab is fast-growing, aggressive, and has one of the fastest growth rates of any crustacean. An adult can reach 5 to 9 inches in length, with distinctive blue pincers and armor hard enough to tear a human hand. They molt about 20 to 30 times in their lifetime, and each time they molt, they become a feast for everything from rockfish to bald eagles. But it's not just their biology that has the seafood industry eyeing them, it's the economic value they generate. Blue crabs bring in more than $1.2 billion a year for the United States, with Chesapeake Bay alone accounting for 40% of the market. However, the area is mired in controversy as crab populations have declined by 50 to 70% since the 1990s. Crabs are becoming scarcer, while prices have skyrocketed. And it was that imbalance that became the spark that started a fierce hunt that lasted all summer, racing to get every last crab before their rivals did it first. To catch blue crab, fishermen do not use nets but pots. Cubic iron traps worth 100 to 150 USD each. A commercial vessel can carry 400 to 800 pots, making the total investment for a fishing season a whopping 150,000 to 300,000 USD. The pots are released in lines 2 to 4 miles long, each line consisting of 40 to 60 traps, marked with buoys and GPS coordinates recorded to the meter. If just one coordinate is wrong, the whole line can disappear under the sea. Losing a line can mean losing thousands of dollars. Fishermen use menhaden, a fish with a strong smell, to lure crabs into iron fences. But if the line is placed in the wrong direction of the current, 50 pots can lie like scrap metal without catching a single fish. Before they could even pull the first pot, they were already facing a heavy loss. But what happened next was where the game really got tough. At 3 in the morning, it was still pitch dark, but the ship had to leave before high tide because fuel alone cost between $400 and $1,000 a day, and they couldn't afford to waste a minute. At 6 in the morning, the first pot was pulled up. The cable was so taut that one wrong jerk could have snapped the crew's arm. The pot burst from the water, weighing nearly 150 pounds, and inside were 40 to 80 crabs clenching and clacking together, each worth $10 to $45. During peak season, a pot can hold more than 100 crabs, and with just 500 pots filled, the number of crabs harvested can exceed 20,000. The pulling speed must be maintained at 40 to 60 pots per hour. Just 1 minute late, the tide changes direction and the strong current can cause the entire line to be lost, equivalent to thousands of dollars evaporating right before your eyes. The whole crabs are dumped onto the sorting table, where they are sorted into jumbo, the most expensive grade, reaching $25 to $45 each. Number 1 at $12 to $20, and number 2 at $10. 2 at $6 to $10. When total production reaches 20,000, gross revenue can reach $600,000, even up to $750,000 in high-price years. But in exchange for that number is 12 to 16 hours standing on a slippery deck, always facing the risk of being swept overboard at any moment. The money comes quickly, but the risk comes even faster. The crabs in the pot had only completed 10% of the work because the remaining part, removing the crabs, was the step that cost many crew members their fingers. On deck, 2 people removed them, 1 sorted them, and 1 recorded the yield by line, while the whole process had to take place in a few minutes so the crabs did not weaken. Each fish is immediately measured for size, and any under 5 inches are forced to be released, a regulation that costs fishermen 5 to 10% of their daily catch and has created controversy between scientists and vessels racing against time. The qualified ones are transferred to 80 to 100 pound bins where dozens of crabs wriggle around on ice. One small mistake, a bin with 20% dead crabs, and the entire value drops to almost zero. This is a business that allows no room for error because live crabs are living money and dead crabs are dead money. Blue crabs cannot be stored like fish or shrimp because the temperature must be kept at a constant 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 7 to 10 degrees Celsius. If it is too cold, the crabs will die. If it is too hot, they will weaken and be returned by the factory. Each ship must carry 1 to 2 tons of ice per day, combined with a misting system to maintain humidity, and the containers must be turned constantly to prevent the crabs from trampling each other to death. Just one crate of 30% dead crabs can devalue an entire shipment by 40 to 60%. And when crabs die en masse, fishermen are forced to dump the entire lot back into the sea, creating outrage and criticism from the conservation community for the waste of resources. But for fishermen, they have no choice but to keep pulling because just one day of standing still means thousands of dollars floating away. From ship to factory, everything must happen the same day. As blue crab is only at its best quality for a few hours after leaving the seabed. The crabs are brought to the picking line, where hundreds of workers hand strip each piece of meat, and it takes 8 to 12 adult crabs to get 1 pound of jumbo lump meat. The factory price is $50 to $65 per pound. But when it arrives in New York or Washington, D.C., a crab cake can sell for $30 to $45, turning 1 pound of meat into $110 to $160 in revenue for the restaurant. That is why many people look at the price of crab and think it is unreasonable. But few people see that behind each pound of meat are dozens of hours of risky labor at sea, tons of ice to keep the crab alive, hundreds of pots being pulled continuously, and sometimes even the lives of the crew. Blue crab's export chain operates so quickly that the entire journey from the bottom of the sea to the table of a high-end restaurant takes a maximum of 48 hours, carrying with it the dangerous metallic smell of pot and the smell of hundreds of thousands of dollars floating in the water. But the blue crab hunt is only half the picture on America's frigid waters. For as the blue crab season closes and the estuaries warm, fleets turn their eyes north, where icy winds cut into their faces and the ocean is covered with white waves. That's Alaska, the sea that people still call America's metal crusher, where the cold can penetrate 3 layers of clothing in minutes, and where any mistake can become the last mistake. Waves 20 to 40 feet high crashed against the sides of the boat like walls of water intent on crushing the ship. One cold night and everything on deck, ropes, pots, railings, doorknobs, would turn to ice. A 700 to 800 pound pot could turn into a giant block of ice nearly a ton. Lifting it was a test of survival every time. An average ship carried 100 to 150 pots, but large ships could carry as many as 200 to 250 pots, a total weight of over 100,000 pounds of metal. Just dropping all these pots into the sea took 12 to 18 hours without stopping. All the while, wind, snow, ice, waves, and cold water attacked relentlessly. But the fishermen could not stop, because 1 hour of standing still in Alaska could mean a heavy loss for the entire trip. When the pot bottoms out at 800 to 1,000 feet, the wait is often 24 to 36 hours for the crabs to crawl in. And when it comes time to collect, it's the moment that decides everything. Either you win big or you lose everything. Heavy winches must be wrapped with cables as thick as an adult's wrist, pushing the pots out of the water for long distances as if pulling them from the bottom of a canyon. Each pot that comes up can hold from 50 to 200 snow crabs, depending on the catch. A full pot can be worth $2,000 to $3,500, meaning 100 full pots are worth $200,000 to $350,000 in just one haul. But no one knows what's under the water until the pot pops up. Those moments were always tense. The captain stood close to the cockpit door, his eyes glued to the taut cable. The engineer stood by the winch, his hand on the emergency stop switch, and the deckhand stood ready with a hook, ready to hook the pot to the deck. A mistake in Alaska could cost not only the pot, but also the life. When the pot hit the deck and the lid popped open, hundreds of ivory white snow crabs poured out, their legs raised like hundreds of tiny spears. Within minutes, they were sorted by size, male, female, and female with eggs. Any exceptions are heavily penalized. Catching a female crab carrying eggs can result in fines of thousands of dollars per case. The number of qualified snow crabs can account for 60 to 80% of the pot yield, and exactly that percentage determines profit. Fishermen worked in a cold that blistered their skin, made their breath turn to mist, and made sweat freeze on their collars. But they had no right to stop. They had to pull the pot. They had to finish the crabs. They had to race against the blizzard forming on the horizon. Qualified crabs are placed in cold storage at 0 to 2 degrees Celsius to maintain meat quality. Unlike blue crab, which must be kept alive, snow crab is treated with a shock immersion process, which causes the crab to hibernate and maintain freshness. Most are then shipped directly to the packaging plant in Dutch Harbor or Kodiak. Here, the snow crabs are sorted again, cut into leg strips, and packed into 2 to 5 pound bags. The average factory price is $18 to $30 per pound depending on the year. But in Tokyo, Seoul, or New York, prices can reach $40 to $60 per pound. A 40-foot container of snow crab is worth $400,000 to $800,000. A single container alone exceeds the annual revenue of many small businesses. If you want to continue stepping down to the deck with the seafarers, witnessing million-dollar gambles, unexpected storms, and the secrets that the ocean always hides under the cold waves, subscribe to the channel. Each subscription is your ticket to take us out to sea once more, to tell the stories no one else gets to see. The Discover will be back with wilder seas, more expensive seafood, and truths that are sometimes harsher than you think. Hit subscribe and join us on our journey to explore the dark side of the sea.